So as you know, my name is Tamar White Wolf, and that name is my legal name, but it also has to do with the wolf, the literal white wolf. In 1995, I had already adopted that name to some degree as a writer in some magazines that I was writing in, and it had come to me in a dream, this wolf, this white wolf. And I just didn't understand what it was, but I felt so strongly connected to it. And I am a teacher. I am a spiritual healer. Thank you. I'm also, wait. Oh, that's a good sign, one of the cardinals. Please hold that one, Lisa. Hold your thought for a minute. Your rising reading is actually very accurate, Amanda. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely. Let me finish my story, and then you guys can just tell me all your stories. So anyways, my son was about, I guess it was in 1993, actually. I'm sorry, I was wrong. It wasn't 95 at all. It was in 1993. Skylar was just about 6 or 7 months in the back seat of the car, so that's how I know that. And we were driving in the country, and all of a sudden I just got this weird energy, and I turned to the left, and there was a huge white wolf in the field beside me. I mean huge. So I slowed right down, and this wolf stopped and turned and looked at me, and I got these chills all up and down my body, and I was in shock, and my son saw it too. Both of us saw this white wolf. Beautiful. Now this is in Ontario, in the Barrie area, and oh, right on. And what the most significant thing about this was is I ended up realizing that was my name. This was my spirit animal. This was my spirit medicine, my animal medicine, my totem. And I ended up through the years aligning with it in many ways, because as a wolf represents the healer, the teacher, the pathfinder. Wolf represents a loyalty, a strong loyalty to its group, to its clan. And it is a very warm, comforting energy, especially for me. It's when I see it, I just get the feeling that I'm home, that I'm safe. And the wolf is about being a healer and about helping other people find their path, which will help them heal, which is what I do. And I think that it's about hierarchy as well. It's about knowing your place in your circle, in your community, and respecting other people and their wisdom and their energy and their education, and allowing, it's in the native teachings we teach in a circle, so no one's really the boss. But in the wolf teaching, there is a hierarchy that is respected, not a boss, but a hierarchy that's respected. And in eating, you can see that pattern in eating, and when hunting, and when traveling, because even in the traveling of the wolf, I don't know if anybody's ever seen this very interesting picture of a number of wolves following line behind each other in a long walk. And what they say is the elders, the senior wolves are laid back a little bit. They're not in the lead. In fact, the lead are the strongest, most fierce of the wolves. And so right behind them would be the elders, so they can be protected by the fierce wolves. And then behind them would be another strong group, maybe the teenagers, kind of speak. And then the little ones, and then the females who look after them. So there's a hierarchy of how they travel together in order to keep them safe and free of predators. So it's really good medicine to have them, because they are the pathfinder, they are the teacher, they are the wise one, they are the loyal ones. They mate for life, in case you didn't know. So when they do, in like as a wolf spirit human, when my relationship didn't work out, it's made it really hard for me to find another, because I really do and did love that person, and it's hard to extend myself in order to find another love. So it's because of that loyalty, and because of that idea of partnering for life. Yeah, I like it too. So this is, part of my teachings as a wolf energy is to walk in humility, to walk with respect for others, to walk in kindness and caution, and mindfulness. So this is part of what I do as a wolf spirit, as stay with my humble reminder of my humble beginnings, and no matter how well I do in life, no matter how successful, how much money, how much notoriety, I always remain in a humble place of humility. So that's another one of the teachings of the wolf. And so when I saw the wolf, I knew then that this really was part of me. And just as an end to that story, I ended up moving in the block. Actually, Carmen, you've been there. I ended up moving into this block. It's at Penetanguishene Road, and geez, I forget what the name of that road is there. Anyways, it's on Penetanguishene Road. And in that one block, I ended up buying property out there, and I lived there from 2006 until 2020. So it was a really great experience, and had I known that the wolf was actually telling me, this is your home, this is your quarter in this universe, come and live here, at that time I didn't know that. It wasn't until a little while later that I realized I was supposed to live there. Yes, you were there for Pagan Fest. Yes. So that's my story. Now let me see what some of you have already shared. I'm just going to try to scroll back here. Just give me a second and see what you guys have shared. Oh, you saw a wolf? Wonderful, Carla. It's nice, eh? Oh, your son is named Skylar too? Cool. Melissa in Buffalo, how you doing? You still with us? You drove up on your job yesterday and cut back trees were full of cardinals. Ooh, that's an interesting one. You know how I see cardinals? Honestly, cardinals to me represent messages from the other side. They can also represent to you, especially the way you read that, cut trees. Yeah. The cardinal to me does represent on some level the, believe it or not, the Christian Pope and bishops and all of those people, and the expectation of following a certain way or certain religion, certain doctrine or dogma. And so when I see cardinals, I think of that, but I also know that it can represent a message from those that have passed, and they may come down to speak to you, to remind you that they want to talk to you. Ooh, you've been dreaming of eagles and wolves. To me, the eagle, and that's another medicine I carry, Magazekwe is another name that I was given by Medicine Man many years ago. And it represents someone who works with Creator, who works with Spirit, and rises up to the occasion of working strongly with Creator. And so that they can, they get a really big perspective of the bigger picture in life. And, they really see things, what's going on. And I think the message that the eagle has for us is to be mindful of the bigger picture, right? To be mindful of all of the many components to a situation. And to always come from a place that's going to help the whole, not just yourself. So you're always remembering of the bigger picture, always remembering what Creator might want you to share and to help the community with. So it is about helping the bigger picture or the bigger community. But it's also about being free and working from a place of freedom, working from a place of uniqueness. Okay? Oh, dear. That's kind of sad. Yeah, it sounds like someone displaced them, eh? That's not good. Excuse me for a second, please. So have you yourself, see, I live now in BC, so seeing eagles often is a wonderful thing I get to do. I love that. And I get to see them often because there's a couple of big, beautiful trees to the left of where I live. And they are often perched watching where I am. So it's kind of neat. It's almost like I feel like as creators sort of looking down or looking over at me going, good job, you're doing good, keep going. You know, you got your groove on, Tamara, move along, you got it, you got this. That kind of a thing I get when I see that. But at the same time, they are pretty prevalent around here. And sometimes you got to make sure they're not going after your small pets. Oh, those, they look like they're starving, do they? That's too bad. That's not good. Somebody needs to capture them and bring them further into the woods. Have you let your city people know that this is going on, Anita? They probably are starving. Yeah, maybe they're cutting trees. Hawks and ravens. You know, hawks are the most commonly asked creature in regards to their spiritual knowing or what they're about. I have had more people ask me about hawks than any other animal. In fact, I got a couple of really good posts on my Earth and Sky Connection Inc. profile here on TikTok about the hawks and things, hawks and ravens. If you're not already following that Earth and Sky Connection Inc., INC, that is my other channel, and I do post things there that I don't post on my personal page. So you might want to go there and check it out. A family of crows hanging around, yes. There's a little story about all the seeing one crow or seeing two crows, seeing three crows. They all mean something different. I remember the day that my grandfather's funeral was being held, that there were a number of crows circling right at my driveway. And I remember thinking that we were going to have some sort of gathering of the old crows when we got there. And sure enough, there was an interesting conversation that was had by a number of the matriarchy in the family. It was very interesting. Thousands gathered today on your tree. Oh yes, that's a great omen. To be honest with you, crows represent a connection to Mother Earth. You know, they really do. And if you know this about crows, they can actually communicate quite well, and they have an incredible memory. And they'll remember someone if they were good to them. And in fact, my grandfather had a crow for a friend, and this crow would go to all the community neighboring homes and steal whatever was shiny and bring it back. So my grandfather had a bowl of silver jewelry and silver little scissors and glasses and coins and all kinds of things like that. This is in Italy. And so crows, they've actually always been a little bit of a part of my family. I also have some connection to them. Love crows because they do help remind us to stay grounded and stay involved in the earth, even though they're a bird. You know, because if you think about it, crows often are found walking on the ground and they're squawking at you all the time. They really do try to connect with us, I think. If you pay attention, you'll see that. Well, you would have to talk with the Pennsylvania Council. Go to the ministry or the county and speak to them. I'm not sure what it's called in the U.S. Mama Wolf 91, hi. Hello, sister. So tonight I'd like to talk to you about all the different signs that are out there and different things that maybe you didn't have anyone to ask about, okay? So some of you is speaking about the wolves and the wolves being out of place. For instance, what has been happening here with Anita, she's talking about that now. Definitely there's a problem going on, and you would need to address it somehow by speaking to officials. There could be something in the woods that are chasing them out. You're right. They don't normally want to be around us. They would prefer, I'm sure, to stay in the woods. So if something's going on there, maybe you should try to find out. Your political people, Anita, I don't know who your council is. I'm not there. Go to the mayor, maybe? Something like that. What's up, girly? So how many here have seen numbers, various numbers, like triple numbers? What, Angel? What? I have a little girl talking to everybody. See her? That's Angel. That's my Angel. Hey, baby. You the baby girl? Yeah, numbers, right? So seeing triple ones and triple twos and triple threes and little angels like this one right here. It's my baby girl. Yes, that's my little girly. Daily, right? What are all them about? Do you want to go outside? Ooh, we're going to go outside. Hang on a second. Always 11:11, and today is 11:11, which is why I thought we'd talk about numbers. Hang on a minute, I'm just gonna let this little one out. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on, out you go. Go on, go pee-pee. Hurry up. Merlin, you wanna go out? I have another little beauty who's wanted to be with us too. Look. This is Merlin. Say hi, beauty boy. He's sitting in my chair. He likes that. Oh, yes. You're famous now, honey. You want to go outside too? You want to go out? Okay, come on. Let's go outside. Come on. Come on. Out you go. Go pee, Angel. Hey, sorry. Yes, they are messages. So let's talk about them. Some of you seeing 11:11 or 11, 111, 222, 333, 444. I have a friend actually here on TikTok who every time she goes out, she runs into these triple numbers. It's amazing. 111, that's an awesome thing. That is really just telling you that your intuitions are good. Trust your instincts, trust your gut, listen to yourself, and especially if you were thinking about something that was really important to you. And if, let's say you're trying to decide on something, if you see 11:11, girlfriend, follow it. Hey, there's Soul Healing. That's the girl I was talking about. Hi, honey. How are you? Yes, you get to see, you do see a lot of triples, don't you? Unbelievable. See this channel, Soul Healing Channel, that's the lady I was talking about, who gets to see a lot of numbers. And I have not met too many people who actually pay attention. So I'm so glad that there are other people who pay attention. And I know you pay attention a lot. And I'm so happy to see your wonderful videos on that. When you're just sitting, you said you were going to wait for an 888 and boom, there it was. I love it when I see that and when you talk about it. So I wanted to talk to you all about that, and I'm glad you're here. Would you like to come on and talk a little bit about that? Would you like to do a guest with us? I know multiple times a day. It's amazing. Would you like to come on? Okay, next time, no problem. Oh, Carla, you know soul healing too? Right on. It's wonderful. Well, you just stay cuddled up in bed and listen up for a little bit then. So seeing all of these numbers, these triple numbers especially, are really, really important to acknowledge. So when you don't not acknowledge them, you're really missing out on the magic. And I think that these numbers mean something big time. Yes, let's plan it another time. Right on. It'd be wonderful to have you here. You're doing such a great job in your healing work. I'm really proud of you, sweetheart, just so you know. I smile every time I see you. Your beautiful face. You're such a beautiful woman, inside and out. And thank you for all the little gifts. That's sweet. Appreciate it. Yes, and I think it's important to note when you're seeing. Someone said they've seen a lot of 444s. That's another one, eh? That is an energy of protection. When we see that number, it is saying that you're being supported. Oh, you're welcome. You're being supported by the universe, that you're being contained by the protectors, by the angelic forces, by the archangels, this type of a thing. Okay, so that's how I see that. And all your spirit guides and your ancestors. So if you're going into, something a little scary, a little spooky, you're being protected. You're being embraced by spirit, by angelic forces. So you will be safe. Okay. So if you're seeing 444, Carmen, that's something I would see or say to myself. If I see 444, I'm good. I'm protected. So, in fact, I have something I have to do this Wednesday, and I'm hoping to see 444. Right? Feeling safe is the energy I would see when I see 444. So if you're seeing, and also when you're seeing 1111, to me this is, acknowledgement, like I said, of doing a good job in terms of following my instincts, and my intuitions are good. But it's also about being aligned, being on an energy level when you're seeing 11 and then 11. Because not just a 111, but the 1111. That to me is an energy that is associated also to the 222, because it means you're reflecting energy. So it's an alignment of your dreams, your wishes, your intuition, and what's actually happening in the world around you. So when I see 1111, it to me tells me that what I've been working on, what I've been, self-absorbed in, whatever my intuition is telling me is about to be manifested on some level in the physical realm. Threes, my mom's the same way. Absolutely. 333s, they're all about getting support from your team, from your, so the triangle energy. Remember that too. When you're dealing with twos, it's about opposition energy. So when you're seeing 222, it's an alignment, yes, but if you're seeing 22 and 22, there could be some opposition. There could be a secondary way of looking at something. There could be an opposite way of seeing things. And with threes is a little different because you've got the triangle energy. So it's like above, below, within. All things are coming together. You are in support with your ancestors and your descendants and the now people, the people around you. That could just be even angelic forces, right? Your spirit guides are working with you, whomever they are. It could be your animals, that type of a thing, right? Ooh, so you almost went on the ground there. Good evening. Hi, how you doing? Whoops, what did I just do? How you doing, Roddy? Nice to see you, dear. Somebody has a serious question. I hope it has to do with what we're talking about. Oh, really? 1010. Good question. Okay, so 1 is all about self. 0 is all about the universe. So that's sort of a male and female energy. So 1 representing the phallic symbol and the circle representing the feminine. So to me, that's a balance of male and female energy when I see 10. And when I see 1010, I see all things are working towards that. Men and women working together, or male and female energy coming together. The beginning and the end, all in the same. So it's to me, that would be a very good sign. Well, hey, girl. You're doing well. Good. 1111. I know. I love that. That just tells me that everything is as it should be. Why do I always see my birthday? That's a fantastic question. To be honest, if I was to always see that 1024, that's a really good question. Thank you so much for that question, Lee. To me, that is the universe saying, really clapping me on the back, saying I'm doing a good job. Okay? I would see it that way. I would see it that I am in perfect alignment with the universe. I am where I should be, at exactly where I need to be, no matter what it is. Even if I was having a hard time, it would tell me that I am exactly where I need to be. It's something like a deja vu. That's a good way to describe that. So if I was always seeing, my birthday's August 1st, so if I was always seeing 801 or 10, 80, which doesn't happen. So 801 is what I would see. Then I would say that I am in alignment with everything I am doing in that moment. I am in full alignment with Creator's expectation of my fate, my destiny. That's how I would see that. So good for you. Even to notice that, that's amazing. But then you can also look at the numbers of 10, 24, and all the numbers represent something different too. So like 1 represents self, 2 represents opposition, 4 represents the containment of, or the home, the base, the foundation, right? Okay. So when you're seeing, how do I put this? 555. Let's say 555. Oh, thank you. Oh, you watch my YouTube. Thank you, dear. I'm glad you do. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have 3 stations, actually. 1 for my store, Earth and Sky Connection Inc. Just so you know, I have a profile here on TikTok as well for that store, which I share completely different things. And you might want to join that one. See, good for you, Roddy. Good to hear. Yeah, it's amazing to see your number like that. That's really good. And then the number itself would have a teaching as well, right? So you saw 555 today, right? That tells me change is coming. Change is coming. Okay, absolutely. When you see 555, it's like the gate has opened up. The energy of number 5 is in the middle, right? In the middle of 1 to 10. So it becomes a gateway from one end to another end. It's like a swinging gate. So when we see 555, it says change is on its way. Thank you. Absolutely. Expect change, welcome change, encourage change, assist change. That's what it's reminding you. Not to worry, new change, new opportunities are coming. 666 says, shh, wait, quiet, think, reflect, and then wake up to your spiritual knowing. Because if you stop, it's not stop, drop, and roll. It's stop, think, and then awaken. So it's really about ensuring that what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what you want is exactly that. So that helps you wake up to your higher self, your higher spiritual energy. If you're seeing 666, I mean, some people see that number as a bad thing. I do not. I don't. In fact, I know a story about that. Some people saw it as a devil's number. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not even close. In fact, it's more connected to the sun and to the energy of the sun. It's because people are stupid. I don't know. I don't know. It's so stupid. Even some of the stuff I've heard about, what Satan or Lucifer or the devil or whatever you want to call it. He apparently was an angel that was sent down here to earth to do the hardest work of all the angels. So if the devil was sent down here as an angel, and the hardest job was to force us to see ourselves as we really are in order to elevate our spiritual beliefs. That's what I think. So I think people are afraid of truth, though. People are afraid of looking at themselves. And so they're afraid of the devil or the energies of the devil. And really that just has to do with looking at your own demons, your own dark side, your own shadows. So people are just terrified of it. And so they make up all these crazy stories. Right? So really, if you want to be really super respectful, you're going to respect all the angels. And if Creator, God, Spirit, Great Spirit, Source, sent you an angel that was going to force you to really look at yourself, really look at your true, authentic being, and then do something about the things you don't like, what's wrong with it? But 666, bottom line, is all about reflecting on yourself. So in a way, it's still kind of the same, isn't it? Kind of fun. Yeah, so it's about waking up to your higher self, to see the truth, to live the truth, to be of the truth, to walk in truth. That's how I see 666. You like that? Good. All right, so did anybody see 777? I see 7s all the time. 71s, 77s, 11s, 17s. Here's something funny that I don't. When I see 7 7s, that's telling me I got luck on my side. good shit's coming, because I'm a good person, I did good, and now Creator's like saying, get ready, something good's coming your way now. So when I see all those sevens, that's what happens for me, right? So I say, luck, wonderful things are about to happen. I should prepare for reward, for acknowledgement, for something wonderful to come. And I get to see those numbers a lot. But when I see 17, 1-7, you know what I think every time? Difficulty at the start. You need 777. We need a new, right? I know what you mean. You only see sevens when you play slots. Yeah. I hope you win. 720 is a good number to see. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? It's funny you mentioned that one, because it's someone I used to know. Well, I still know them, but someone I used to be with, actually. He used to always see 1, 2, 3, 4. And whenever he's seen it, he'd go, ah. And I'm like, what? He goes, I hate that when I see that. He says, I know trouble's on its way. I said, well, why would you say that? He said, well, because every time it happens, something happens, and it's not good news. I'm like, all right. And for him, that's how it worked. And for me, like I said about the 17, whenever I see 17, it's difficulty at the start, but assured success is how I see it. When I see 7-1, assured success, always. That's even my phone numbers have 7 1s in it. What's my interpretation of 19? I saw that Stevie Nicks thing, by the way. 1017. Awesome. What's my interpretation of 19? That's a good question. I think because it's associated to, when you add 1 and 9, so we talk about compound numbers. Compound numbers are 2 numbers, 3 numbers, and so on. Single key numbers are when you take those numbers and you add them up and reduce them to one number, single key. So when we see a 1, 9, and 19, we see first of all the 1 energy being self, 9 being a spiritual vibration, or like the end all to be all, the spiritual vibe. Add them together, you have a 10. When you add them, when you add 1 and 0 again, you get back to 1. So it's all about the self. And by going through all the motions and notions and expectations in life, and finding a spiritual understanding and knowing of something, and then incorporating it into you. So when we take a compound number and then we break it down to a single key, it's like taking all the energies that are available with those 2 numbers and embracing them as a whole, and then rising up, sort of like shedding skin from like a snake, and becoming the epitome of those numbers, of those vibrations, those energies in one. Okay? Yes. It means you should pay attention to that number, Melissa, for certain. That's another thing. Absolutely. So your birthday is 10 or 1. It is both. It is the compound number 10 and the single key 1. Now they say when you have, the karmic numbers are doubles, like 11s, 22s, 33, and so on. You should not actually completely break down that compound number to a single key, because it is powerful in its own right. But you can sort of subliminally acknowledge the fact that 22 also is a 4. Okay, so also you want to look at things like with the tarot. Okay, now when you look at numbers, you can also look at, how do I point that out to you? Okay, I'm going to do it with this one here. So, okay, hang on. I want to get the card for you so you understand where I'm coming from first. So 19 in the tarot is considered the Sun card. Okay, it's the Sun card. So when I see numbers as well, I also often think of my tarot cards, and I think, okay, 19, that means sun, the sun energy. All things are as they should be. Liberation, brightness, lightness. And as you can see, this card is really about liberation, coming out of the garden, on our white horse, which often represents protection and spirituality, and nakedness here with a little child representing innocence. So this could represent you associated to the major arcana too, see? Awesome. And don't forget though that you could take that number, like I said, you take the 19 and you break that down, and the 19 is a 10, which would also include the Wheel of Fortune. So then you would pull out the Wheel of Fortune and you would say, okay, so there is change or spiritual change or spiritual evolution. Something is about to shift and you're going to have fortune, opportunity. That's how I would see the Wheel of Fortune. So when you break that number of 19 down to 10, you then have the Wheel of Fortune. It's a 10 card. And I'll get that and show you again how that keeps changing. It's so wonderful, really. If you keep working with the numbers, you can have so much fun with it. Like my friend Soul Healing there. I've never seen anyone have more fun with the numbers than her. I absolutely love it. I'm sorry, honey, about your sister. Her birthday's on the 19th. Oh, I'm sorry. That's sad. That's another question, Karma. So there's the 10 card. Okay, so that is change. That is cyclic. That is movement. All right, so when you go from the 19 to that, then you have change. And sometimes it's negative change, sometimes it's positive. And unfortunately, I guess in your sister's case, it became her end day. I'm sorry to hear that, honey. I really am. But that's a powerful day. That's a powerful day for you to remember her. And, maybe try to find some healing in writing. And I was about to get to the fact that we're going to take that compound number 10, the Wheel of Fortune, and break that down to 1. And the 1 in the major arcana is the Magician. And the Magician is about communication, is about words, about stories, about poetry, about alchemy, about making changes, about this is awesome, because in this way you can write it out, you can talk it out, you always get that card, right? Okay, so this is a message to you to write your thoughts and feelings out when you are reminded of her. Talk to her. You could do automatic writing with a candle and a mirror in the dark, and you could write out, ask her questions, and then just write whatever comes to mind. This will be her communicating through you, through the energy force to you, through the power of words. And this is what this individual has. The Magician has the power of words. Man being the master of one's environment. Yes, very nice. So that's a little bit about numbers in terms of that 19 that you asked me about. So let's go to 8. 3 8s. 3 8s is all about balance. But this is usually we see this when we have been in conflict or in trouble or in questionable situations or positions with people. Everything is falling into place when we see the 888, but it is after we've already experienced difficulties of some sort. Oh, Jennifer. Let's discuss that. Your mom passed, and for some reason you weren't able to support your siblings because all flights were canceled. That's a big one. I'm going to say that you were protected. I believe you were protected, and Mom probably protected you. So if anybody had a say here, I would say Mom did. And likely something would have happened. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe you would have got some sort of serious case of COVID. Maybe you got really sick. Something like that. Or maybe you would have hurt yourself, had a car accident on the way there. Maybe the plane, I don't know. We don't know what we were protected from. The hardest thing about assuring ourselves when something like that happens is we have no proof. We only have speculation. Right? I am certain, though, that your mother was powerful enough to be sure you were protected from whatever that was. And your siblings, maybe, maybe there's a lot of other reasons too. Maybe they needed to mourn without you making it okay, making it better. Maybe they needed to really fall apart, and they wouldn't have had you been there. We don't really know for sure, but I can tell you that there was one hell of a good reason. That I'm always sure of. You didn't miss her. You probably walked right into her spirit. Yeah, that's sad. So 999, you know what they say that is about? It is about releasing. Thank you, Virgo. 999 is about releasing and letting go. Let go of what isn't working for you. Remember I said nines are very spiritual, so when we're seeing the triple nines, it's really about letting go of the things that are just clogging you up or getting in your way and, weighing you down, holding you back. Lilith, you're right. In some way there is, it seems as if there's no tangible reason. But I promise you, there is. We just aren't wise enough, or haven't triggered into it, haven't tuned into it in order to see what the situation really is. Some things are more expansive than our own abilities are. And sometimes we just have to realize that we are, having a human experience and trying to develop our spiritual self is a process. Excuse me for a minute, I'm just going to let the dog in. Come on, baby girl. Angel. 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 Come on, honey. Come on in here. Good girl. Good girl. Come on, sweetheart. Come on over here. Come on, my love. That's a good girl. Everything is lessons, absolutely. Jess, we're not doing questions like that today. Please respect what we're doing. When we're going to do some psychic readings, I'll let you know, honey. Right now what we're doing is interpreting signs and symbols and things that have happened to us that we haven't had light or knowing about. So we're trying to decipher those things and interpret those types of things right now. Okay? Numbers is where we're at, and symbols like animals, and when nature happens to us, for instance, what do you think? Okay, let me ask you this question. What is the most unusual thing that has happened to you? Give it to me in a sentence. Let's see if we can decipher it. Well, while we're sitting thinking about it, how about you do me a favor and knock us into the algorithm by giving me a whole bunch of love and love to the room, lots of hearts. Blue heron. I love heron. Heron is really about standing in your truth, standing in your strength, being aligned with yourself, being willing to work on yourself, being willing to work alone, being willing to work in a team as well when necessary. It is about rising up and working with what you have, resourceful-wise. And it's also a good luck sign, to be honest with you, when you see that. Dad, baby, birds. Yeah, well, that's like an idea has lost its wings. Hummingbird is a symbol of joy after some sadness has come. The light in your upstairs bedroom keeps coming on. Well, I would say you have a ghost in there, my friend. And that hawk would have been a message of your friend saying hello or goodbye. Two spirits' faces formed in the mist in the bathroom. I would say you also have a ghost in there. You live in a haunted house. Visited by a spirit dog. I would find that house quite intriguing, Danielle. Cardinals. Cardinals often represent those that have passed, and indication that they're there. You could ask it who the ghost is. You had a blue jay land on you? Is that what I'm just hearing? Yeah. That is definitely a wonderful message of your sister. Would you say that she was a saucy, sassy kind of person? Blue jay's kind of saucy and sassy. Swallowtail butterfly appeared outside my house. New beginnings, new opportunities. Thankfully, you got rid of that person. You had my stove stay on when unplugged. Yeah, that's pretty weird. Yeah, well, the reason why that blue jay came, that is blue jay energy. So she's recovered her spirit in the form of a blue jay, which would represent her most. So she probably dressed well and was a sassy ass girl. That's awesome, Roddy. That's awesome. Blue jays would be a message to be assertive, to be confident, to be assertive, to dress well, to keep yourself looking good, because someone might be watching. That's amazing. Praying mantis. Now, praying mantis, that is an interesting creature. Praying mantis, I actually had over 1,000 of them show up on a teepee I had. And I was in shock. It was a quiet afternoon. It was about 4:30 in the afternoon. It was beautiful, sunny day. And they were all on top of my teepee, all around. I couldn't even believe what I was seeing, praying mantis. They move very slowly, very deliberately. And they are one of the creatures that when mating, their female bites their head off. And in order for the praying mantis to let go of his sperm, they bite the head off for that to happen. I don't understand all the scientific reasoning behind it, but I do understand that is a fact. And what I know is the female's the leader. Female's it's a matriarchy vibration, right? So to have all of those praying mantis on my teepee, I thought of them all of the thoughts and prayers and spiritual concerns, questions, all of those issues that may have come to the teepee over the years. I saw each of those praying mantis representing one of them. And just so you know, those praying mantis that were on my teepee were green, which means they were male, which means they were not female, which means this was more about the male energy. So what was on the teepee were all of the negative energies that had been brought to the teepee over the years. The very next day, the teepee burnt down to the ground. And I watched it as the wind took it from its pegs, and the skin, the canvas of the teepee wiggled up. And as it got so high, then the teepee poles turned and crushed and fell. And then the whole thing burnt to the ground. And to me, that was a cleansing. That was a serious cleansing of the energy that that teepee had. And what you don't know is that teepee also went through a serious aggressive moment with an ex-boyfriend who decided that he wanted to come after me with an axe. And when I moved, he got the teepee. And he cut that teepee good and cut it right down. And then I had to fix it, and then I put it back up, and then that's what happened. Yeah, bittersweet is right. So I'm going to say that anytime you see a praying mantis, it is about an issue, a spiritual issue about something. Now, if it's a green one, it's about a male, and if it's a brown one, it's about a female. And it could be a big message. It could be something you need to pray to, something you need to pray to heal. Praying mantis will eat hummingbirds? I did not know that. Wow, I did not know that. Those praying mantis that I seen were in Ontario. I now am in BC, Nanaimo. I had no idea. That's wow. That's amazing. Mm-hmm. All right. Hearing crickets in meditation. Very good question. Crickets is about sexual energy. Yeah, they are. Crickets are about sexual energy. When you hear them, you know, it's the rubbing of their legs. And it is a mating call. So when you hear them, it is a mating call energetically. So it is about your sexual energy. It is about the possibility of you getting a sexual experience, especially if you've been without for a while. It could be indication that you might want to clean yourself up and get ready for that vibe. What else could it represent? It could represent a message that comes in from a sensual individual. No. That's funny. Right? I don't know where Bannock Point is. Where is that, Anne? Hey, Sarah. Hey, folks. Could you do me a favor and tap that screen? I'd appreciate it. A whole bunch of times. Just tap your screen. Get a bunch of love going into the room. Send some hearts all over and everybody spreading the love. For those of you that don't know, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, that means that your daughter will be protected wonderfully by a spirit dog. Thank you. Oh man, I shouldn't have put the cricket out of the house. Right? Well, you can just maybe have that romantic experience outside. Well, I would say whatever is in that picture frame is something you want to give some mindfulness to, for certain. Right? Oh, thank you so much. Okay. Oh, the spirit dog. Danielle, I want to talk to you about the spirit dog. I had most incredible experience with a spirit dog that I called Scout. Sacred Place of First Nation. Yes, I thought that's what you're talking about. But I haven't been there. But I am going to tell you about a sacred spot in French River when I went up there with my husband, who was, he's passed, who was an Anishinaabe man as well. And we were going to a place near, in French River. Long story short is on the way there, we hit a bear. And it was a really sad experience because the bear came up over the top of the car and looked me straight in the eye. I was driving. And it literally freaked me out. And then the wheel grabbed the bear's foot and the rest is history. Long story short is it was a very traumatic experience for me because bear is part of my medicine too, and I guess that was a message to me that I wasn't really looking deeply enough at certain things. That's a whole nother story. No, I don't want to get into that. Okay, so anyways, the bear. We killed the bear by accident, of course, and when we got to French River, we were getting out of the car, and walking up to the cottage. And as we were walking up to the cottage, I could feel something behind me, and it freaked me out. And I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, totally thinking about a bear, because I was scared that I was going to have revenge on the bears are going to take revenge on me, and for sure, because I felt really guilty for killing that bear. So I was saying that to my husband. He's like, "Oh, Tamara, stop it. Stop being so silly." And we get in, as we're going closer to the cottage, I turned and looked, and it was a dog. Okay? It was a dog. And I didn't understand why he was there until the next day when he was still there. And we went for a long walk into the woods, went up this big hill, got onto this rock, jumped down, only to realize we were standing in front of a bear den for real. I was like, "Oh my God!" And my husband, he's just so confident, and I'm like, "Cameron, we are actually in front of a bear den. We're in bear territory." He goes, "We're in First Nations territory," and he just kept trotting along, and I'm like, "Oh my God!" So I'm walking, and I could feel something behind me again, and sure enough, as I turned to look, and as I was terrified because I was thinking it was a bear, and I turned to look, and it was this dog again. And so this dog came over, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, how are you?" And he put his nose right in my hand, his muzzle right in my hand, and he followed me, and he was really loving with me, really cute with me. And I said, "Okay, keep the bears away from me, dude." And I called him Scout. So he kept all the bears away from me, as far as I was concerned. And he was going up to all the poo that he was finding and doing this little diggy thing, and snorty sound, and then he would take off. Well, anyways, long story short is the bear did not come out after me, and when we got home, I gave this dog a big pork chop. And then no one has ever seen that bear since, before or after. So was it real? I don't know. Was it a spirit dog? Was it looking after me as a loyal dog would? Maybe. Thank you, ancient goddess. So Danielle, I would say that if your child is being visited by a spirit dog, she is being protected. And maybe it is either the dog of the house that lived there and loved kids, or it's a dog that you've carried with you. Oh my God, that's amazing. Nice. That's good. Isn't that fun? You know, energy is energy, and if you're paying attention, you'll see it. You've never seen anything like what in books? I think I missed something. I have to scroll back to see. I had a dream of a stick with cattails around it, like a chandelier, and it was painted and jeweled. Oh, that's very cool. Sounds like an ancient torch or something. Hello. Hey, Kate. Happy 11/11. What's this about? You took your son to walk around so he could hear drums in his head? When you dream of someone and it felt so real, maybe they were really there. Maybe they were there on some level. Oh, thank you, Laura. Thank you. Hi, Maureen. I have a little dog who's trying to get my attention. My little girl. Do you hear her crying? Yes, she's a baby girl. And dog, you know, dog medicine is such a good thing to have. They're all about loyalty and love and friendship, companionship. Thanks, Carmen. Hello, Scotland. Yeah, the dog wants pat. She's got her tummy getting rubbed. She big suck. She poses. She lays on her tummy and then she pokes her. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Danielle. I do appreciate that. That's very kind of you. You'll also get, as I start to get more subscribers, you'll get some bonuses. Just so you know, this is the White Wolf Coven that you're in case you didn't know. And we will be doing Zoom gatherings for the winter. And you'll get an opportunity to learn a little bit more about actually doing ritual work and ceremonial work in terms of magic, in terms of the Sabbats, in terms of the moon. Yeah, cat's another medicine. Sarah, I want to respond to you directly. Your mom is suffering from pneumonia. I'd like you to look up Push Mama. Push Mama 2, I think. Push, P-U-S-H Mama 2. She's a root medicine worker, and she has some incredibly good videos on using onions to heal ourselves. And they are amazing, and I know for a fact, I've used onions before. An old tradition that we were told, especially when you have anything to do with your lungs, is to take your onions and to fry them up a little bit, wait till they cool, and then put saran wrap on your chest, and then put the onions on your chest while they're warm, not hot, warm, and then just rest with the onions there. Not only will the heat of the onions help the chest, now you can put it directly on the chest as well, just so you know. In fact, it's better, but if you'd rather not, use saran wrap or something. But the smell as well, the aroma of the onion goes into the body, kills bacteria in the nose, kills bacteria in the throat. But there are a number of ways that you can, even just taking an onion and cutting off the tip, putting it in a bowl under the bed, or at the bedside, will help draw illness, especially pneumonia, out of the body. Thank you, Amanda. Posh Mama, you know her, right? She's amazing. She really is, and she has some very simple techniques on how to help yourself. Yeah, Sarah, honestly do it, okay? She's also pointed out some things that you can do with the onion by putting organic honey in there, drinking onion water. There's a whole bunch of things. And if you have any trouble finding any of her stuff, please come comment somewhere on one of my videos and I'll try to find her for you. Yeah, you're supposed to replace the onion every 2 days. Or if you're really sick, every day. And if there's an emergency like pneumonia, I would use a red onion or purple onion. Oh, thank you, Dawn. Thank you very much for saying that. Oh, anything I can do to help. There's so many different things that we could share, and we should be sharing outside of the medical, so-called health medicine. Allopathic medicine is not meant for prevention. It's meant for intervention, which means they'll always get money. So if you keep onions in your house all winter long and change out every second day, you change them out, put an onion in every room, at every bed, under every bed, drink onion water on a regular basis, or even drink onion honey, or eat onion honey from time to time, you'll keep yourself very, very healthy, very clean. Hey there, girl. A compelling question, I like them, about witchcraft. Talk to me. You're such a silly girl. You're a silly girl. You're a silly girl. Yes, you are. What's your question? Thank you about my voice. Thank you so much for tapping that screen and sending love into the room and sending us into the algorithm. I eat onions like an apple. You are a wise one. I eat onions often on my peanut butter sandwiches. I love them. Winter witchcraft things. Yes, I definitely have a protective witchcraft. Good job. You want to see my dog? This is my little girl. That's Angel right there. That's my little girlie. She's a Sheltie. She's my little, actually kind of, I adopted her from someone who was moving back to Ontario. And me and Angel developed a love affair a little while back, so we decided we didn't want to separate. She's my girl. You're such a suck. I love you, baby. I love this girl. She is a little angel. She certainly is. Isn't she cute? Look what she does. Look at this. This is a little girl. Look at her. Can't even see her little face. Let me see your little face. Where's that sweet baby face? There it is. You gonna show off? Hey, baby girl. She's a little cutie pie. No, she's 14 for goodness sakes. She's an old girl. That's why she didn't want to drive back to Ontario. She wanted to stay here with, I guess I was kind of her grandma. Yes, or her mother-in-law. I'm not sure how you want to look at it, but now she's my girl. She is. Somebody wanted to ask a question about witchcraft. What was it? Do I have advice for depression? You bet. St. John's wort. St. John's wort. Vitamin D. And if you can get a sun lamp, put a sun lamp over your head, because as we come into the winter months, it'll get worse. Walk in the earth outside as much as you possibly can. Walk inside the trees, forest bathing. When you can, go earth walking. That means barefoot. Honestly, it has a hug a tree. I don't care what it sounds like. Go hug a tree. Talk to it. Yes, your spirit's quite young. Depression is often unrealized anger. And so I would also write it out, journal. Well, that's what I was telling everyone earlier. I have a coven. It's called the White Wolf Coven. And it is where you can go to my website at tamarahwhitewolf.com, tamarahwhitewolf.com. You can find it on my Linktree. And sign up and register for the White Wolf Coven. And when we do the winter Zoom gathering meetings, you will be part of it. I can only have 100 people. So the first 100 people that are part of it will be able to join us, and we'll be getting together probably 2 to 3 times monthly. There will be a $5 charge for each time you come, unless you want a long-term membership, and then we'll talk about that. Yes, sense of very good, Itchy. Very good. Very good. Definitely using peppermint or any uplifting type of mints would be helpful. A bay leaf tree, I never thought to drink that. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. I'm in Nanaimo. Right on. What are my pronouns? I'm a Tamara. She. Her. That's a weird question to me, sorry. But thank you. I know you mean it only in a respectful way. Okay, I was a witch in a past. Can you feel soul energy? Yes, of course. Well, I would say that anybody who's following me right now, talking to me right now, participating with me right now, would have some witchy energy. You would not be attracted to someone like myself without it. You have terrible sinuses. So scent is hard. Use the onion, that onion thing that we were just talking about. Use the onion. It will help you big time. Another thing is to use peppermints in that here, or even, what do you call that? Tiger balm. Steve, very good ideas. Thank you, Itchy, for sharing your wisdom. It is beautiful on the island. Right? Oh, there's the wolf. Oh, I'm so grateful for you to get a subscription, Danielle. Thank you. You can buy a subscription to me now. And that will get you all kinds of things, I guess. I'm just learning all about it. But for certainly right now, it'll be great. It's a great support to me. Thank you very much. Salt, steam, water, and a towel, that's good. Eucalyptus, putting your face over eucalyptus bowl of hot water. Tea tree, depending on what's causing the sinus problems, for sure. And yes, sacred salt baths can also be very helpful with depression. So can sativa, marijuana. And that could be done in small amounts with tinctures. What comment? I don't know what your comment is, Well-Wisher. Sorry. I probably just didn't see it. What books do I recommend for herbal ointments? My goodness, love, there's so many. I'm not seeing your question, Well-Wisher. Sorry. Want to ask it again? No, I don't see it. Sorry, love. Sacred salt baths. Scott Cunningham has an excellent book, absolutely. That's more of a magical than medicinal, though. Oh, yes. Where are you now, Majo? Search, if you want to talk with me, you can book a session. Just go to my link tree and you'll be able to connect with me.
Share your anti-heroic traits using hashtag TS Antihero Challenge. Only on YouTube Shorts.
Sacred salt baths usually would... Oh, right on. I don't see it. I'm not sure. Say it differently then. Maybe I have it blocked. Not sure what your question's about, so I don't see it here at all. Sorry about that. Thank you for your subscription. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Amethyst, crystals, using crystals for depression. Definitely there are some that are very uplifting. Amethyst could be good for that. For me, I think I would prefer to use yellows. Citrine, calcites, what do you want, baby? Sulfurs, those types of things. Amethyst definitely could help as well. Golden healers, yeah, you got it. Something golden. I would use yellows to help. Anything sun related or sun energetics. Reword the question. I could have it blocked for some reason. There are sometimes I block certain words just so people don't bog me down with stuff that I don't want to talk about. Absolutely, Itchy. You've got some awesome ideas, honey, just so you know. I love your ideas. Having sacred baths with herbs and sacred salts and prayer, and definitely seeing the energies that you're washing away go down into the spout. Into the drain is exactly what you need to do. In fact, on my on one of my, either this TikTok page, or I guess it's my other TikTok page. Yeah, it's my Earth and Sky Connection Inc. page. I have told you about having a sacred bath using the 4 medicines. And the 4 medicines are tobacco, cedar, sweetgrass, and sage. And by putting them in a little gauze bag or something and let them hang into the water, or you can just put the whole thing into the water, or just sprinkle all the herbs into the water, and then just put a gauze or something, cheesecloth or something over the drain as you're emptying the tub. And when you see the water go down there, you actually speak to the thing you're saying goodbye to, like depression. Cedar bath, yeah. Thank you. Raw egg cleansing. Yes, that's absolutely something you could do. Tuning forks is another thing you can do for depression. And depending on how serious the depression is, you might even want to consider microdosing with someone who knows what they're doing, and that would not be me. I don't like mushrooms much, but I know they have been very helpful to many people. Write down your issues and burn them. Absolutely, Hecate, you got it, girl. The 4 medicines in the native tradition are tobacco, sage, cedar, and sweetgrass. Right? Journaling's a really good idea too, is sort of emptying yourself so that you make room for new things if you've had a lot of problems, especially because if you're full you won't be able to hear other people's ideas and thoughts. Exercise, absolutely. Walking, nature walking, running, stepping, Pilates, Qigong, yoga. Like I said, depression is often in inward anger. Inward anger. Ask yourself what's causing you trouble. Journaling several times a week. Good job, girl. How do you forgive yourself? How could you have done anything other than what you did do? You only know what you know. Sound bath, for sure. Walking and yoga, yep. How do you forgive yourself? Maybe take a little bit of a process. If you can, connect with a spiritual counselor like myself. I don't know if you can afford to sit with someone like me, but someone like me can often help you in 1 or 2 sessions. But there are so many ways to forgive yourself, and the one thing is to really look at the fact that, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So if you were taught something by someone in your family, then the only way to unlearn it is to experience it and realize it was wrong. Thank you, Gemma. Resting, sleeping, meditating, you got it. Affirmations. You guys have so many great ideas. I love smart people. Please don't go away. Stay with me forever. Oh, I just love to be around people that have ideas, who have wisdom, who are willing to share and learn and expand. And that is what it's like to be in a community, to be in a tribe, is to help each other, to love each other. And I think one of the problems that we have in our community is envy, jealousy, and mean-spiritedness, and lack of. But this group right here is wonderful. Laughter yoga. I love that. It sounds awesome. Thank you. Oh, Danielle, you're wonderful. You're welcome here. Right? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, darling, I can see how that would be a hard one to let go of. That would be a hard one to let go of. I guess, how do we respond to that? I'll tell you a story, Ma. I have a little sister, too, that I feel responsible for her death. When she was 4 months old, I woke her up when she was sleeping, and my father punched her in the face and killed her. And for many years, I carried the burden of waking her up and being somewhat responsible for making her cry. And I was only 2 when that happened. So I do understand, and that was in 1962. I understand that guilt, survivor guilt. It took me a really long time to deal with it. Really long time. And I guess the first thing I did with it was to help other women who were, to help other women who were in abusive situations, to help children who didn't have a voice, and to use my psychic skills and my healing energy to help other people was the best thing I could do. Right? And I think your sister was being called home, sweetheart. Your sister was being called home. Aw, girl. That must be such a hard thing to work with. Tell me you went to counsel for that. Oh, that just makes me so sad for you, honey. I have so much compassion for that. Thank you. Yeah, so what's the meaning behind such a thing? How do you navigate that kind of guilt, survivor's guilt? How do you navigate it? I think it makes us a better person in some way. I think it makes us a compassionate person. It is some sort of consolation, eh? Yeah. So what's the subject tonight? Whatever we wanted to talk about, to be really honest with you. Talking about signs and synchronicities and magic. Why things happen, why some things don't happen. Some people are only meant to be here a short time. I think the best of us are the ones that leave first. I bet you are. What's your name, Mama? I know it's not Mama. What's your name, though? Well, Wisher, did you manage to figure out how to ask that question? Look at the love in the room. Tessa, nice to meet you. Right? Gypsy Moon, absolutely. I'm so sorry to hear of your loss of your child. There's nothing like a child leaving before you go. Thank you for your subscription. Appreciate that. Isn't that weird? I wonder what you're asking. Is it about God or Jesus? No, just about your period. Okay, I'm not the one blocking that then. It must be TikTok. So call it the moon time, or call it, say something about the moon time. Ask your question regarding the moon time. Don't say the blood. Call it moon time. I don't know. It's funny, Anne. I'm not seeing them either. For real, I've looked. There's nothing there. Your daughter passed 24 2 years ago. Now that's so sad. Heavy moon time and clumps. Gotcha. Yes. First of all, I would use a hot, some sort of hot pack on your fallopian tubes in that area. I would use that type of a thing. The medicine that oh geez, how do you get that to not clump? I'd have to think about that one to be able to help you with it, but I know that heat will help. Oh, that's a good one, Farah. Yeah, that's often a warning when you hear your name being called. That's a warning. When you're having clumping, though, that has a lot to do with not having enough. This may sound a little odd, but truly, I believe that when we have a lot of clumping, it has to do with our sex life. Often that would mean either there's too much, not enough. It depends on where you're at. But I understand if the sexual energy is flowing properly, you don't get the clumping. So there's some connection to that, and some connection to drinking water, to heat in the belly area. That's true. Ginger, turmeric, and cloves. There are some different herbs that I would put in a tea. Also, a hot pack. Again, you could put herbs like a yoni cleanse is a thing that I might do. A yoni cleanse. I actually have bags of yoni that I created. So they would have about 6 different herbs in it, and you would put it in a bowl, and then you would put a skirt on, and the bowl would have hot water. You'd pour hot water on it, and then you would sit over it, crouch down over it, squatting over it, and let the steam go up inside you, and that's supposed to help with that as well. So there's a number of things you could do. But there's a spiritual reason for it too. So there's, really need to talk about. Moontime was like a faucet. I see. So that could also. Are you over 40? Are you close to 50? Raspberry, absolutely. Nettle and raspberry is very good, especially in a tea. That's how you would do that in a tea. Macaroot could be, absolutely. You guys are amazing. I love smart people so much. It's so much easier to work with people who have smart answers to questions. Amazing. I love red raspberry tea. It's really good for after birth as well. Really good for after periods, just to do a nice cleanse. But if you're having a lot of trouble with clumping, you're going to need to do a number of different things, not just one thing. Okay? Menopause. Some of these things that we're speaking of right now, actually, Carmen, well, hysterectomy is a very serious thing. Has anybody heard of Susan Weed? She has an amazing book out on as we age, and I forget what it's called right now. Susan Weed, look her up, and she does have a book on the menopausal years. That's what it's called, the menopausal years. And she has a whole list of herbs that are very helpful, different things that you can do. And she advises that we do not go into break and enter such as hysterectomy until we've tried all the other things that she has at least suggested. And don't forget what I said, well-wisher. It is about, you're going to need to get a yoni cleanse. Look, I'm going to make friends with you, and I will connect with you. I'm going to follow you. Hey, you're not following me, Missy. You need to follow me. All right. Yeah, for those of you who aren't following me, please make sure you are following me. Root chakra clearing, for sure. And I can tell you how much it is. It's not very much money, and you probably only need 1 or 2 sessions of it, to be honest with you. Okay. What's tender when you push on it? If you put 4 fingers down from your shoulders, it is tender when you push on it. I'm not sure what that area is. Let's see, from your shoulder, 4 fingers down. Oh, that's a really soft spot in the body, isn't it? I don't know what that would mean, honey. Yes, I'm sure you do. I listen to a lot of native energy music. I really like it in my space. Oh, on your arm. Shoulders down your arm. Oh, yeah, that's another. Do you have fibromyalgia, maybe? Because that's a trigger point. Hormone balance. Gypsy Moon offering her acupuncture information. Awesome. 53 and same problem. All right, I'm finding I have some deep work to do about trauma and PTSD. Absolutely. Right? When we're coming into our menopausal years, we do need to do extra work on keeping the fallopian tubes and our ovaries and all that supple and clean and free of clots. So we'll take a little bit of work, a little bit of time, a little bit of love. Oh, thank you, Tessa. And big hugs to you, sweetheart. We'll see you next time. Please go to my website if you're interested in registering for the White Wolf Coven for the winter sessions. You're ready for your crone phase, right on. Yes, absolutely, Gemma. That is a true fact. Ah, yeah, you had an early menopause, Anne. Did you have some trauma to bring that on? Well, if you're having any problems down there at all, or if you just want to clean out the closet, yes, a yoni cleanse would be super, super helpful. Doctor said it was normal? Okay. At 37? Well, it's kind of young. It's kind of young if you ask me. I would get a second opinion on that one. That's kind of young, sweetie. And I'll be honest with you. You see, my hair is white. It used to be brown. I had what I would say is early aging in my hair. I'm the only one in my family who went this white. All right on, Farah. Looked forward to it. We will talk about all kinds of things that we're doing now, but get more intimate and more intricate. Well, come and join the coven, honey. "47 isn't so bad to start a menopausal energy. 45, I would say 37's a little bit young. I mean, but we're all different, you know, and if you're done using your womb, why not close it up? Why not? If you're not using the womb, you might as well close it up. But it can interfere with other health issues. You know, like when your estrogen is too low for too long, it can cause different types of bone problems. So I would just get a second opinion. It wouldn't hurt. You know, it wouldn't hurt. In fact, there are people out there that are celebrating the moon time in what we call the Moon Lodge, or the Red Moon Lodge. And it is a very sacred thing to honor our moon times and the blood of life. Very sacred. So to keep it going as much and as long as possible, and in a healthy way, is the goal. Although many of us would rather just say goodbye to it once we're done. I get that too. Yeah, you sound like an old soul. What do you want, baby girl? What? You want to talk to the people? What do you want to tell them about? Come here. You're a silly girl. You're my girl. I want this little girl. She wants all the attention. Irritable bowel syndrome. Yes, there's some very interesting things that you could do with that. I would consider, first of all, obviously you've got to be mindful of fatty foods, fried foods, and spicy foods, hot foods. But the other thing you can do is Boswellia tincture, or frankincense tincture. Frankincense tincture. She does want her mama. She big suck, eh? I do. I actually do think that, Search. I think that we can often determine how our moon time will flow and our menopausal days will come through the review of our mother. Yes. Not always, but yes, mostly. What are you so pretty for? I love you. You're so cute. Such a cute little girl, eh? Yeah, just pet me. Yeah, so are there any other, just as we come into, I don't know how we ended up speaking all about that, noontime energy, very interesting that we're talking about that. It's very magical to work with your blood too, if you haven't already. Yes, she does love me, I know that. She's my little shadow girl. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, your dog is hitting the phone. She actually hits the phone too, right out of my hand. Deja vu and dreams really waking you. Oh, deja vu, yeah. I think deja vu is an indication that you're in the right place at the right time. I think that we are getting a moment in time where the energies all come together, culminate, so to speak, and confirm for us that we are exactly where we need to be when we need to be, but also that it's a significant moment and to pay more attention. I think that's what that means. Dreams that seem real and wake you up, lucid dreaming. Yeah, I would say that we get a lot of that, and that it's really important to write those things down and then follow them. Protection against dark shadows. Well, wearing quartz crystals, wearing pentagrams like I do, wearing crystals to help you. How to detox from sugar. That is the hardest one. Oh my God. It's a conscious effort. It's just like quitting smoking. You know, you sort of, for me anyways, when I quit smoking, I took every cigarette I had, I'd put it out halfway, and I just kept doing that. And then every other cigarette I didn't smoke, and so on and so on, until I finally weaned myself. I think that's the way you're going to have to manage sugar too. You're welcome. What's your name, well-wisher? Apple cider vinegar could help with sugar addiction, absolutely. I'm sorry, I'm missing some of this conversation, but now I don't know what to do with what. Heather, nice to meet you, dear. Thank you, Farah. You know, like attracts like. And you guys are doing such a great job tapping that screen. Thank you so much for tapping the screen and sending the love out into the universe. Blood, moon, water. Oh, that's a magical thing to work with. Absolutely. And so is the blood. And a lot of people will use their blood in ritual work, in ceremonial work. We won't be doing that on TikTok because we are not going to take the chance of getting banned. We'll do it on Zoom. We'll talk about it on Zoom. Nice to meet you too, sweetie. Yeah, don't. So we'll connect regarding the yoni and see if we can't get your those clotting things under control. You know, another thing we didn't talk about, which is really interesting with our moon time. Do you come on the dark moon or do you come on the full moon? And it does have a meaning. And there are 4 segments in our moon time. We call it the Red Moon Teachings. Maybe one day I'll share some of that with you. But it speaks of the enchanter and the hag and the mother. All of these energies are very important to consider and to look at. And we, in the old native ways, we made sure to bleed on the earth or on moss, and then take the moss and put it in a fire. Is full moon there, Jamie? I'm pretty sure it's full out here too. And you know, this 11 day, we've talked about 11/11 and the energies of what it means. But I'd like to say one thing before we end any of this conversation, and like everyone to take a moment and remember those people that have fought for our freedom, fought for our countries, who have stood in the line of fire for our safety, for our protection. And as this is Remembrance Day, it's important to remember those people that have been there for us. And you know, it's not just our white colonized people that went to war, but many of our native people aligned with them, and our black folk. And with this full moon energy the way it is now, I mean, we can reflect on that and send messages to those people that have given their lives to us as a whole people, and to those veterans that are still that are struggling with health issues, emotional issues, mental issues because of their experience in war. Right? And I think that, thank you very much. And please make sure you mention that to your partner. And also to you. I mean, that's a big sacrifice to you too. Itchy, what's your name, hon? When we have such a beautiful moon out there, this is really a good time to shine the light on ourselves and let go of what we don't want anymore. Let go of what is not serving our highest good. Hi, Karen. So nice to meet you. Yes, DNA codes as well. Yeah, please say thank you to your husband for us, and to anyone else here who had family involved in the war, and or any of the wars, or any of the advocacy or lobbying or anything. This is a time to remember all those selfless souls that gave of themselves in previous years. Yes, it is a very good time to charge your crystals under the full moon. It's also a very good time to make yourself some full moon water, especially with the blood moon energy. It would be very, very powerful, and you could use it to create so many beautiful things. Full moon energy is often used to consecrate, to cleanse. So you wouldn't have to just put your crystals out. The ones that didn't make it outside, or let's say you want to clean up your altar and change your altar, you could use the full moon water for cleansing, clearing, and most definitely for drinking. Right? Most definitely for drinking. In fact, it's a really good idea. I'm going to put some water outside tonight, and tomorrow morning I'm going to drink it and cleanse away whatever doesn't serve my highest good. I have every intentions of doing that. You're welcome, Heather. You have a great night. Yes, I do think a glass is better. Moon water is when you leave your water, drinking water, outside under the moon and allow the moon to charge it with its vibration. And then the next day you can use it to drink it, you can use it to cleanse, to concentrate, all kinds of magical things. Thank you, Farah. Mason jars, I use the same. I actually have I have different ones with different names on it. Right? Yeah, me too. I love to share the wisdom. Good night, Heather. I hope you have a great night. It is getting late, and we're coming to the end of our time together, folks. How nice it's been to meet with you all. It doesn't matter the moon's covered with clouds. It's still there, sweetheart. And don't forget to follow if you haven't already. Full Moon Sacred Baths. Absolutely, Heather. You're going to go make some tonight? Good. Wonderful. Full moon water is amazing. In fact, we call it holy water in the Witch's Way, and we use it as we would any holy water. Yes. I'm glad you signed up. Good. You should have got an email back from me, no? Yeah, there's lots of awesome people in this group tonight. Yes. Well, I think my little girl and I are going to finish the night and say goodnight to all of you, and thank you very much for being here with me. I hope we covered some subjects that were helpful, and until next time we meet again. Are you done? It's so cute. Gotta see this. Are you done, Missy? Are you done? Are you finished? Yeah? Okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. right? She's a good girl. It was so nice to have you all here. And thank you everyone who subscribed tonight. I do appreciate that. And I'll be thinking of ways to especially honor you for subscribing to me. Thank you so much. And hope to see you register for the White Wolf Coven on TamaraWhiteWolf.com. And see you all soon. And to those of you that we spoke tonight about the loss of your loved ones, special thanks to you for sharing your soul with us tonight. And in remembrance of them too, I'd like to send a special prayer to all of those that have passed before us, and for those that have helped us along the way, and especially to those young ones that died way before their time. Many blessings to you, people who are enduring such heartache, and lots of love to all of you. Take good care, everyone. Lots of love. Bye now.